doing, sir?
Hey, sir.
Come on in. You doing okay?
Yes, sir.
Excuse the mess. We was in the process of picking up, putting up Christmas, so it's not finished. Okay?
Well, it's all right.
Can I get you some coffee or water or a Coke Zero?
Tea and coffee.
I'm okay, sir. Thank you, though.
Before we get started, I did have a quick question. I was trying to get the car picked up today, but there's a hold. How long will the hold be on it, you think?
Until we can get fully processed.
And you have any idea when that'd be? Reason why I'm saying I had a record going down there to get it, and Michael at Wade told me there was a hold on it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I didn't know how long that hold takes, you know.
Until we have time to get down there and get the car fully processed. So it may be a day or 2 or 3.
Oh, okay, well,
So-
that's better than 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have to hold on to it, and I'll confirm that with the DA's office. But I mean, the vehicle wasn't really
Being part of the crime. I guess.
right. Yeah, but I mean, he was sitting in the vehicle prior to that happening, and then after, y'all were on the phone with him, and he was in his car and everything. But
Okay, I just wanted to kind of get a.
yeah, once we get fully processed,
Now, who will let me know when the hold?
I'll let you know.
Okay, you got my number now. You sure you want something to do?
I'm okay, sir.
So you know that was he shot sitting in the car?
No, ma'am.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, okay, what do you think could have happened with his talking to us in the phone in the scene?
I'm sorry. What do you mean?
Like, how was he having the conversation with us? And I'm sure he probably had us on speakerphone while he's working on his car.
Right.
And he's really upset, wanting us to come get him.
Mm-hmm.
After reading everything on KWTX, it seemed like they're putting up a self-defense, which I wasn't there, I don't know what happened. All we know is what we heard on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't see self-defense in any way, shape, or form. I mean, they may.
Plead that, but
Castle Law, I think I heard thrown out.
Yeah, I think those were just in the comments. I mean, it's pretty clear what happened. That
Layman comments.
he was shot. He was unarmed. He didn't threaten them. He was just, I guess, they were having a verbal exchange, and Dustin, I think, probably got mad at him and, maybe acted like he was going to fight him potentially. But there was no physical contact with Dustin and Brandon. There was no threat made from Dustin that I'm aware of. And he wasn't armed. So you can't, I mean, just because someone's on your property and you want them to leave doesn't give them the right to shoot them.
we was talking about that
So-
a while ago. I understand they want them off the property. Why couldn't they have called you guys to come out and say?
Exactly. And I asked him that, I said, because Brandon claimed that they had issues in the past, but I was like, well, did you ever report it? No. And did you ever have him criminally trespassed or call us to have him trespass from the property? No. So, I mean, I don't see any way that they could claim self-defense. And he even said that he wasn't going to fight him. He decided, and he already came outside to confront him with the gun. So, I mean,
Well, Dusty blew him off with the gun.
yeah.
And I knew about the gun long before this
We heard
yesterday.
about the gun law.
And I actually said, please don't go around there. Well, the girlfriend, I don't know if you know the dynamics, but Dusty's girlfriend's Cassie.
Hmm.
And Cassie has a daughter.
How long have they been together?
A year.
A year? Okay.
And her daughter stays at that house as a guardianship under Jenny, who Jenny is Brandon's mother.
Right.
So there's Jenny and Layla and Brandon, and then they have Aubrey staying there.
Mm.
And they live with the granddad, Ken, I think.
Right.
And so I know of them, and I've met Jenny's nice. Jenny and Cassie are friends from high school. So Cassie has this new relationship with her daughter and has been trying to spend a lot of time over there,
Mhm.
but she don't have a car. And as well as going over there, she's also will ask Dusty to come get her. And Dusty does. Well, it creates tension because for some reason Dusty and this Brandon kid's gotten off to the wrong. And Ken supposedly liked Dusty. Jenny started not liking him because there was this tension. And every time Dusty went out there, he wanted to leave because Brandon would he'd say, shooting at me. And I said, well, what do you mean he's shooting at you? He said, he's always shooting at me. And I said, well, is he a bad shot or what? Is he really just trying to scare you? And so I don't have this thought that he's just a little kid trying to scare him. And she wrote I'll take that petition now. Anyway, that's been the history, on and on and on. And I just told him, stay away from there. I can't believe he went back over there because Brandon just always running for that gun and shooting up in the air and around him and trying to scare him. But he has gotten in Brandon's face before and says, you ain't shooting nobody. You know, he's gotten in his face because he thinks he's a little punk. He ain't shooting nobody. So Dusty's kind of fearless. So his attitude would be like that.
Right, but that still doesn't give a reason to do what he did. And then after he shot him, he just went inside, and he wasn't the one that called 911.
What?
Or that so.
Well, we heard somebody say he's still alive, so he must have told them, and them come back out. It was a male's voice, and it was silent. We kept saying, Dusty, and he said, he's still alive. And that there were no other voices. That's all we heard. You could hear some, but you know how Wi-Fi would come in. So I'm sure missed a lot. And plus we missed a lot because after the event and we got here, it was about the time we got here to the house. And then as we were driving back, we start calling the police and trying to get in touch with everybody. And that it was after the fact we know now, but we're trying to get answers and everything.
Did he actually make the comment, die slow? How cold is that?
He told y'all that? He just told y'all he said that?
I seen it on TV the TX. Die slow death, I think he said. Don't understand. I wish he'd have called you guys to come out and get Dusty before all this happened. That'd been the proper thing to do.
Right, exactly. Because I even asked him if he ever called law enforcement, and he said no. So it sounds like he wanted to take matters into his own hands, and this unfortunately was a result. And he should have called us to take care of it. Because you can't, just because you may be on your own property doesn't give you the right to go out. I mean, confronting someone with a firearm is one thing, but actually using it is something else. And he had no reason to use it.
Well, the victim people come by yesterday, and there was a deputy sheriff. We talked. Anyway, I said, the sad thing is there's two things that's very, very sad. I said, we lost our son, and that 18-year-old's gone forever.
Right.
It's sad for both parents.
Right.
There's children that never know their dad.
Yeah, I hate that this happened. It shouldn't have happened.
When will has you ever seen the judge?
I don't think so.
When will we find out what he put in as a plea?
That'll be a while from now. It's so he'll get a bond set, and I'm sure it'll be enough to where he can't bond out. It'll probably be $500,000 or $1 million or something like that, whatever they put on murder. And then he'll sit in jail, and he'll have to, if he stays in jail, he'll get indicted within 90 days. So once he gets indicted on that charge, then everything will move forward through the judicial system, and then they'll start setting, court dates and things like that. But we're still a good ways out from any of that happening.
I just was, being nosy and reading around last night. I just wondered what are the chances that he, claims self-defense and just drags us all.
Well, he can claim whatever he wants, but the evidence does not support self-defense.
Okay.
That's just my professional opinion from doing this job for over 12 years.
Well, I
So
guess my question was, did he come out with a gun shooting, or did he come out with a gun and then, like you said earlier about coming out with a gun's one thing, and did he say that he was attacked or something? Because I read that one witness said that he didn't attack him. So it's just conflicting. You hear all this crap,
Yeah.
and you don't know what's what. And, I just.
He's saying right here, Mom, I need out. Help me. This is before any of this happened. This is
Yeah,
before we talked.
Tells me he wasn't confronting.
He were
Yeah.
texting before we talked. And I'm at a restaurant. I'm blowing him off because he's drama queen. And I'm like, oh, Betsy, come on, y'all argue all the time. And so he was trying to leave, is what I'm trying to say. He even sent me this location to find him.
yeah,
Well, I was reading some of the stuff people was putting on Facebook too, and
Mhm.
I shouldn't have, I didn't say anything back. It was just very mean stuff.
yeah. I mean
I think it's the devil.
I do too. What I'm worried about is, what I'm worried about is people trying to use his past with the law or drugs or whatever, prison, to paint a picture that he deserved this, and he did not.
Right,
It was murder. He was unarmed. He was on the phone with his parents.
right.
And that's what I'm afraid of, is someone using a background and a past to paint a picture that it was something other than it was.
Right. And, I understand that concern, but the past is the past, right? And even though he may have had a criminal history, even though he may have been arrested, gone to prison, he may even been hanging out with some of the wrong people, but that doesn't make it right or make an excuse for what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
And people can say whatever they want to say, but
Like, do we have to worry about that with them hiring a lawyer or whatever? Is that something we have to worry about? Is that he might get off on this?
I'd be surprised if they can hire a lawyer.
well, they'll probably get a court appointed attorney, but I mean, that's way down the road from now. I mean, it all depends. I mean, it depends on if he pleads out or it goes to trial, or we don't even know what the final outcome's going to be. I mean, we're still a good ways from that. Because if it goes to trial, it could be a year from now. It could be longer than that.
Yeah.
But I just don't feel like there's really any chance of it standing up on self-defense or anything like that.
So you personally did the investigation, so you feel comfortable that it wasn't self-defense.
Right.
There,
And the witness can say whatever specifically the grandpa, he can say whatever he wants to say, but I think he only saw bits and pieces of what happened. And the best, account that I got's from the guy that actually shot him, from the suspect. He told me what happened, and he told me that Dustin hadn't even reached where he was at before he pulled the trigger.
he didn't
So-
get that. He didn't. So they didn't. I heard a rustling, so I thought it was an altercation.
Yeah.
And when he was saying, he went, because he's just talking to us.
Because he even said that he wasn't going to fight him, that he shot him instead of trying to fight him. So, he said that to me straight up. So,
Well, like you said, he didn't seem to have any remorse when I asked you yesterday what was his frame of mind.
but
Judging by his family, they're like probably very low character people. You know what I mean?
But I wouldn't worry. I know it's upsetting. It's upsetting to me. I'm sure it's upsetting to y'all what people post on social media and the comments they make. Everybody has an opinion, but they weren't there. They don't know the truth. They're going to formulate their own opinion, but I wouldn't just try not to let that bother you because they don't know the actual truth of what happened.
I'm just so afraid because of his past and background, and yes, he's been arrested a lot. I'm just so afraid.
His background is drugs.
He had a checkered past, but his heart was good.
Yes, the
Yeah,
biggest
but-
heart.
And he was
Right.
trying,
Yeah, soft heart.
honestly.
Yeah.
And his friends were texting me like, saying things like, he keeps saying he's gonna do good, but the drugs was holding him back, but he had, the system holds you back. So when you get out, you don't just go out and get a job. You're like being punished because you can't get your license for 4 months for an appointment. And in that 4 months, you find out you can't get them anyway because you owe for court or tickets. And then you don't know who you owe them to because nobody will tell you, but it just shows in the system you owe it. But to who? You have to call this number. So many hops.
Yeah,
And now we got
sometimes-
it down to this week, we're getting a reinstatement fee, and he was gonna be able to go after his license
He
again.
got a job waiting on him.
He's already got his insurance, he has
He's
2 jobs
a roughnecker guy.
going there,
Okay.
and that makes him so happy when he works. He's just a workaholic.
Yeah.
And that ugly car, he loves it. He's
And
gonna be watching
So
it.
I'll put it to you this way, and hopefully this will give you a little bit of peace of mind. I mean, yes, we're talking about Dusty's past and everything like that, but that's really only going to come up as if he was being charged with a criminal offense and in the sentencing phase or what have you. Like if he got rearrested on a new charge, and then they would at the jail they would base his bond on his past criminal history. When he goes to court, they could bring up his past convictions and stuff to enhance or to greaten the sentencing for any potential charge that he was getting after that. But I mean, he's the victim here, so I don't see that really being relevant.
Well, I know he wouldn't intentionally hit a kid.
Yeah,
You don't have a history hitting women. You don't have a history hitting kids. But he's not, he is mouthy and he's going to tell a kid off. I know that.
yeah.
And if he's attacked, he'll fight back. So I don't know. I didn't hear a fight and it was so short.
Right.
Seconds. It was in seconds. We're talking in seconds. He's calling out to me, Mom.
You'll be able to tell how far away he was when he shot him, won't they? I mean, they can gauge all that.
More or less, yeah.
Because some of the witnesses said they were like scuffling, which sounded like he
It
shot
went off
him
on
right there.
Right.
And then he, when he said it, like you're saying, he just came out. I wasn't going to fight him, just shoot him. And
Is that what he did? Just walked out just like that?
well, from what y'all heard him going, don't
He
Brandon,
goes, no, stop. And then
He did the whole thing.
Was it a rifle or a pistol?
It was an AR rifle, but it was 22. Like, no, it wasn't 223. It was 22.
One shot.
Yeah, one shot.
Well, before we go any further, I talked to the deputy yesterday, and I want to tell you, he explained to us the efforts that y'all put in to save my son. Thumbs up.
yeah, thank you.
He said it went on for a long time. He said there was like 8 people taking turns. Paramedics showed up and got whatever they call it thing.
Right.
Said he got a heartbeat twice. But we have to commend y'all for y'all's efforts.
You're welcome.
I mean that.
And I'm sitting here telling you all this information because y'all deserve to have answers because y'all are his family. This is your child. Y'all deserve to have answers, and I'm not going to try to, keep anything from y'all. But I would appreciate, just y'all keeping it amongst yourselves because we don't need any of this getting out, more than what's already out there.
Yes.
Just to protect the integrity of the case.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
if y'all can just kind of refrain from posting on social media or anything like that.
Yeah, that's good advice.
So
Appreciate that.
I've already mentioned it to some people, but I haven't posted anything on social media.
Right.
Everybody else
No,
knows.
I'm not putting anything on
But they do,
Facebook.
I guess that doesn't matter because they're not witnesses, but we're witnesses, is that true?
right, and all the people that are commenting, they weren't there and they don't know.
Yeah.
They're just formulating their own opinions.
Yeah, I read some of them, but I'm not even gonna read them anymore.
I didn't respond to
I know
anything.
that Cassie
Make
was,
you feel better.
the girlfriend was real upset yesterday because she's really in a rock and hard place. Her daughter's there, that's her friend, the mother, and they were angry with her because she was consoling us, and she said they're changing their story, and as in Bessie didn't have permission to be there, and then she said something about the cameras. I said, well, let them know. She said it should be on camera, where they gave permission, because Dusty talked to Ken, and he, maybe the kid was asleep. I heard he was asleep in the bedroom, woke up and found out he was there. I don't know. I don't know if Dusty spent the night. I don't know if he just showed up.
I think he had showed up earlier that day. Yesterday, he had showed up earlier in the day, like that morning,
So he didn't spend the night.
as far as I
He probably
know.
was coming to take her to work when the tire messed up and she had to go to work. So he's mad at her about the tire and going to work and leaving him there at that house with a crazy kid with a gun.
I'm thinking he wouldn't have been there if his car had
Yeah, I know why.
Did he say what was wrong with his car?
his brake, the rotor disc or something froze up, and he was trying to work on that.
He told me something about a dent, something about a dent in the wheel. And he's blaming her. I don't know if she drove it or if he's mad at her because he went out there and got a dent in his wheel.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm a chicken in cold weather, and I'm not liking this.
No, I hate
And it's
it.
supposed to get real
Especially
cold.
if it's wet.
And we have to expect it this winter time, I guess.
So right here on this line, you'll print your name. Down here, you'll put your personal information. This on the second page has spots to list. Well, okay, never mind. It's not on there. This is just your written statement. You have this page and the next page. Just kind of write out in detail just what you witnessed, what you heard and saw, and
Well, me and my wife's kind of been going round and round about this. My brain is really fried, and I'm having trouble recalling. She had him on the open line on the phone, but you have to understand, of course, we're in a panic, but I'm driving, and I'm calling you guys. I talked to a dispatcher, and he said, I'll get a sergeant to call you. Sergeant called me, and he couldn't give me no information. Well, then, I think we heard on there he's alive. Well, then I called Cassie, not knowing she wasn't there. And I said, Cassie, what's going on? Somebody, I don't know if it was Dusty at that time. I said, I think there's some shots. And she said, well, let me call and I'll call you back. So I'm driving at 89 miles an hour trying to get there, traffic. And then Cassie calls or texts me, said he's alive. So I had two people tell me that. I had two people, I heard it twice, he's alive. So anyway, we do have some comfort at that time. Well, then I called the police back, and they said that the sergeant would call me back, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so she's really listening to all this stuff, and I'm just catching bits and pieces of it. Other than there's chaos, I hear a lot of background noise, the dog barking, all that stuff. But when I got there, of course, it's pretty obvious that he's not alive. But she has more detail of what she heard. Okay, so just to give me
It's
a bit.
limited to, because we drove to the house and I had to come into the house. So I had to take it off the car radio and I had it on speaker, and then somehow going back to the car I'm just assuming it's going back to the car radio, and I never changed it back over. So most of the car ride out, it hit me about halfway there. So I turned it back on, and then, we heard, I don't know in what reference at that time frame that what we missed, if anything. That's probably when y'all were driving out there. But we did hear, when y'all got there, where you said get on your knees, put your hands above your head.
Is this where I put my name, sir? Print here.
yes, sir.
My concern with him, he's just a wreck.
Right.
He is not recalling the details
Just-
that we sat there
right.
and heard.
Just do the best you can. I mean, if you don't-
Whenever they read it, they'll be able to kind of.
If you don't know or don't remember, it's not.
Put hers with on that, her, since she
I wrote it down.
She
just
wrote hers
because
down already.
I
Okay.
knew you forget. I know you can't change these things,
Right.
and I'm trying to make sure that I'm. To help him.
Y'all know sign language?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
She's a sign language interpreter.
Oh.
She's
No sign language?
No. I know enough to get me in trouble.
Yeah, I understand that.
So, do you want this with it, or you want me to rewrite it?
You want her to put that
I
on
think you can
there?
help me get in contact with the fire
I'm
EMS
probably
out there.
not gonna make me a
Sure.
Is
copy.
there any way you can help me get in contact with fire EMS out there?
Sure.
I called AMR today, and they led me to the website where we can get the
Court
report.
records. Yeah, he's gonna
They
go
send
get
it
that,
to
like,
us.
Okay.
transpire.
I think I talked to you when
Thank
I
you.
first got there.
But I think our fire and everything, they're on they may be on the same channel, or I'm not sure. So all of their records may show up with AMR's, but I can still get you in contact with them.
Danny, you want Donnie to fill out that part,
Well,
so they can have it straight?
Do we fill out separate ones, or?
Now we have one copy here.
I just worry.
Yeah, if you don't mind rewriting this on this paper, and kind of look at your messages between you and
Does he?
yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah, he's mad at his girlfriend.
Because I have his phone, so I just wanted to make sure everything.
what happens to his phone now?
I'm gonna keep it.
He said he got some strange phone call from somebody. He's a little paranoid.
Well, once y'all get all every information you need, will it come back to you?
Yes, sir.
What about the car?
It's
Is
a
that
loan.
evidence, or is it just until?
It's evidence right now until we can get it fully processed, and then after that, I'll release it back to y'all.
He's starting off saying that Cassie's saying they're like fussing with each other. So he's saying there's cameras. So he's like, he's always avoiding getting in trouble. So he's like, well, there's cameras. That's in his defense. That's what he's talking about.
That reminds me, sir, is the cameras on that house functionable?
Apparently, they're not, but I'm going to confirm that. Apparently, they weren't working.
That would be a shame, wouldn't it?
What?
The cameras on the house.
No. Can you take off? Can you take off? Would I hurt you to take off? It's tax free. She don't want you going to work like this.
Who's that now?
It's sweet.
I just saw that Kindle and my phone's been in there because Devin was trying to.
Sent her $500 so she wouldn't go to work. It's $100 a day. Can you afford that? Okay. And you still would be losing money, wouldn't you? Maybe you just gonna have, maybe take 2 or 3 days. And go back. Give you a little time.
But what if I need it for the funeral?
What do you need it for a funeral for? Why don't you just say that you need it? I mean, just do what you need to.
I'm not here.
No, it's not
Oh.
tax. No, not next.
see on your,
Yes, ma'am. Can I screenshot these messages and send them to me?
yeah, there's also a screenshot of, I know about problems, so I screenshot the phone that I was still connected. And then you're the one telling me to go ahead and disconnect after I was there. I don't, but still, I have it screenshot. I can send you that too.
Okay.
It didn't, it's not, it's, I mean, it's already, you're already there.
Right. I was just gonna go through and screenshot the messages
Yeah,
real quick.
so he can send them to himself.
Is that okay if I do that?
It's fine.
Okay.
When you look in the picture, there's a picture of, I can send you that too, if you do, I'll find it. Is the other family doing okay?
As far as I know.
I mean, that guy seemed like he's pretty angry. Yeah, I need to make sure it's time sequence.
Y'all just do the best you can. I know it's not easy, but just do the best you can.
I didn't put the time down. That first text message, you can pull the screen back and you can get the times. If you need
Right, yes, ma'am.
And then you screenshot it with the times.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Is there useful information? I haven't read all that. I think there's useful information on there.
Who is? He's all grabby at his girlfriend's now.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really. So I'm sorry to interrupt y'all, but he said that, but I want to die. You think that was just because he was upset with his girlfriend?
Yeah, this thing's just so
Just-
frustrated and mad. It's just, his car keeps breaking down and he's trying to get to that job and just all this stuff's just constant. And this kid gets on his last nerves. He's now stuck with being at the house of the people that don't want him there. And he's there for the reason of being with a girlfriend.
Right, so he's
that's
just,
how I saw it.
yeah, saying that out of anger or frustration
Figure
or
of speech
something.
for him.
Okay.
He's upset.
But it is ironic.
Okay.
Not that he wanted to die.
Right,
He wanted to meet his children, is what he told him a few days before.
right.
And he wanted that job.
And then you and Dusty were in Dallas, right?
My New Year's Eve. Last time I seen him. What was so special about that, Chief? Dusty's 38 years old, and you know he's pretty active running around. You know, it was my birthday. Anyway, we had booked a room to go to Dallas and spend the night for New Year's Eve and my birthday and all that stuff. And Dusty said, "Dad, I'm gonna go with y'all," which really struck me as unusual. You know, I said, "Dusty, you really want to go with your dad and mom on New Year's Eve?" I said, "We're just gonna work there and spend the night. You know, we're not gonna do anything." once we got there, some disappointments up there with the room. That's not regular, but anyway, she's watching Netflix, and so I said, Dusty, I said, let's go down to the lobby or the restaurant area. We sat there for probably over 2 hours, just had the most fantastic talk. You know, I wasn't fussing at him, he wasn't complaining. We just had a good talk, and you know, for 2025, you know, and the opportunities it was going to bring for him, getting his license, and he had a job waiting on him, and just a very, very special time.
Do you mind if I go in here and send these to myself, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you.
Okay, thank you. Oh, is this what you screenshotted, ma'am? With the call? Because it showed that you were on the phone with him for
Can you see the
an hour and
7 minutes?
yes, ma'am.
Can you see the roof of his car in the picture? Can you see the roof?
Not on that one.
I think maybe if you hit it, it would go back to the picture. It's a very vague picture. You see part of a seatbelt, so it may not look like a roof of a car. I think you see a part of the window. It's that gray area, sort of a gray looking.
Oh yeah, okay. It was a different picture, but yes, ma'am, I see it. Okay.
And does it say the time and everything on that picture?
12:49.
That's when our phone call started? Or ended? No.
Well, that was
Oh, that's when I screenshotted.
Right.
But I didn't, I kept it on until I got there.
yes, ma'am.
But I wanted to show that I had been on it.
Right.
And then I think you would have told me, do you want to tell me I might as well just disconnect it?
Whenever you got there, and we found his phone, that's when the call was ended.
Okay, I just want to make sure I was with you.
I'm just gonna airdrop him to
That was
me.
a Wi-Fi call.
Okay.
We didn't have a phone service right now. That makes a difference. What was so weird, it was a phone call, not a video call. Somehow it went to video.
Okay. Here's your phone back.
I don't think you sent it. Did we send it to you?
I airdropped it to me.
Oh, I see. Okay. Just gonna try to get the time.
Just do the best you can. I know it's hard, but if you don't remember everything, or I mean, it's okay.
Just never thought I'd be filling something out like this.
Yes, sir.
In all honesty, like I said, I don't have a lot of recall because I was talking to you guys twice and
Right.
Cassie, and I was sorry to say I was speeding trying to get there, but I had my flashers on, but I was concentrating on trying not to
Yes, sir.
have a wreck.
Sure.
I'm filling out something for Dusty's death. I can't believe I ever did it. I know you feel these out there. You have any help. I just.
Just take your time.
Not recalling anything else.
Does he need to write anything after he arrived, or is that when the report would stop? Does he need to write what happened while he was there too?
It's up to him, but I mean, I think we have all of that covered.
Okay. So
Dolly, can I read that to see if there's spurs in your memory for me? If you're, it's okay.
But just do the best you can, Mr. Nobles. If that's all you remember, then you can stop it right there. I know it's hard.
The thing, babe, you gotta remember, we were alerted, that something went really bad before we got home. And when we got home, okay, and we're driving, and he got on the phone and he was fussing about Cassie and stuff, and his voice changed. And we knew right then something happened. We heard the wrestling, like,
Yeah, I wrote that down.
do you remember what you heard him say?
No, I don't remember what he said.
And then it got quiet, and then, you don't remember him saying, Mom.
It seemed like I vaguely remember that.
And it got quiet, and we started hollering out to him, both of us,
And we were both screaming.
because we knew something was wrong, but we had to go home, because I was sick at my stomach at that time. I had to get home, and then we got home, and you start calling the cops and everything, and having a hard time trying to figure out how to call Bristol. And then we left and went from there. I know it's hard to remember those things. I don't know why those things will shoot out of your mind. It's too hard to remember. I just don't know why I can't remember it.
That's all right, man. It's not your fault. I'm sorry y'all have to go through all this with this statement. I just feel like it's important to have that.
I understand.
So.
I understand the process, but I just had
You need to tell them on the statement you're having a hard time remembering.
I'm going to rest you.
Yes, sir.
Explain
That's
that.
fine.
Anything in Rick?
No, sir, I'm okay.
I meant to weaken what I say, But when I got there, I hope you remember, I said every bit of this to you just like this.
Yes, ma'am.
She wrote it down last night. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's all right. You don't need to apologize. It's not easy.
close range, I could hear chickens. I could hear chickens, but I missed a gunshot, and I hear chickens, and I hear a gunshot, and I hear chickens, and I didn't hear him say I'm dead or any of that stuff, other than maybe because he's on the other side of the car, maybe.
Right, because he left his phone in the car in the seat.
Which he's probably talking to me through the speakers,
Right,
which I'm thinking he was holding his phone when Brandon came up, he just dropped it.
right, and the
All
phone,
the rest of he was moving, so he was trying not to get shot, I think.
right. But the phone may not have picked up the gunshot either. I don't know.
I don't know how.
Or like you said, it may not have been a very stable connection because it's on Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah, there was there was a slight, I don't know if it's like voices, I don't know if it was voices, but there was a sound that I couldn't pick up on, but I think it was like maybe there were voices, but I honestly wasn't hearing a lot of talking or anything, other than someone saying that he's still alive.
Probably don't need to be on there, but I heard a dog barking a lot,
Yeah, the dog was barking.
which is irritating to me.
Yes, sir.
I kept hoping somebody would answer us, hollering out the phone. They had to hear us. If we were on that speaker, I don't know.
Well, I think the audio was just playing through his phone because the car was off.
We were in her car and we could hear it on the, coming off through the dash. We could hear.
Right.
There was so much of it that, just noise, background noises.
Do you remember someone saying he's still alive?
Yeah, I put that on there.
Okay.
Cassie said he was alive.
He was a calm voice, like a serious voice, if he's still alive.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
Still siren. Siren.
S-A-R-E-N.
No, I mean, it makes perfect sense, sir.
She's like to say she'll have more detail than I got.
That's fine, sir. I understand. I mean, you did the best you could. I mean, everything looks fine. It's your statement. You can write whatever you want to write. If you'll just sign right here, sir. After that, you'll be done with that. Thanks, sir.
I think they said picture him for your
This is us. This one is us.
Oh, I did hear.
And yeah.
Let's son's gonna help me with the open records stuff that we talked about a while ago. What all does that, does it include all the communication between the police department and, I don't know what I'm trying to say, all the transactions, everything that was said, with the investigation and stuff like that?
Or radio, come on, radio traffic?
Had
That's
spelling
that's
of your
a
name.
record,
DORSEY.
but the,
You talking about like on the 911 previous calls? Or,
I was I was just reading about that a second ago, and it's kind of hard to understand. So they sent me to a website to fill out a form, but makes it sound like you have to have either a warrant or a court order. Let's see.
And what is that for, sir?
This, I called AMR
Okay.
asking for open records for the incident report.
Right.
And they sent me to this website where I could fill out a form.
Oh, okay.
And it would be submitted, and then they would send me that.
That's for the paramedic.
That's not necessarily their communication, but what they did. Everything that they did. And it's their report of their accounts of what happened and what they did. It says here a subpoena, subpoena, attorney compelling disclosure, or a court order, judge granting an order, administrative requests, which is by the agency, or law enforcement warrant subpoena. So I'm confused on that because I understand HIPAA, but I don't know how HIPAA works with this. With family getting, because I mean, he has his privacy, that's what HIPAA's for, but I was just wondering how that works with the family now.
Right.
Getting in, and I don't.
As far as all of our records and everything, like the dispatch call log and 911 audio and everything like that, I have all of that, but we turn everything over to the DA's office. Because during an open case, because even when we get everything done on our end and we submit it to the DA's office, it's still an open pending case. It's still an open investigation until it's handled in court.
Right.
So we're very limited on what we can release.
Well, then this will probably be even more because it's HIPAA, so I
There's
understand that because it's an open case, that makes sense.
At some point in the future, after it's all said and done, probably could access the records.
Yes, sir. But as far as what AMR will release, they may be able to release something to y'all. I'm not exactly sure how their process works, but I'm just speaking on what we're able to do.
How do we get a copy? Do I make a copy or how's this
You
work?
can pull their copy in there in the office, maybe they can. Got a conversation I was telling you about a while ago on my birthday.
that's just the same.
That was,
Yeah,
that's
maybe
not
there's a
like
copy.
Yes, sir.
Call them.
he was a good guy. Had challenges, but he was a good guy.
My face hurts so bad.
Excuse me. I guess, can I get her to make a copy of that too, please?
Sure.
Where is the,
Statement.
um, Danielle, what she's figured about was, she would mention the handful of dementia. I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's what it is. I don't know if it's a stress. We've had some issues in the past, but he's been doing good, so with this, I don't, just the shock of it all.
Right, I understand.
Was that weekend mine report? I mean, if you can't remember the details and we're side by side, does it hurt my report?
No, ma'am. Because I mean, there could be 10 people in the room, and they're all going to have their own version of what happened, and they're all going to hear and see different things. I mean, no one's going to be exactly the same. So,
There's just specific things, I guess, that had stuck in my mind.
You ever go out on Hodge Lane in Eddie after by the Mackey Ranch? My mom lived out there years and years ago, not at the Mackey Ranch, but on Hodge Lane. Her husband was Walter Hodge. I guess I know that him, but a long time ago.
how many kids do y'all have? Three.
Yeah.
So this is your
This is
other,
my oldest son.
and then your daughter.
Yeah, she's the oldest, and then Danny's my oldest son, and Dustin is my youngest son.
Okay. How long have y'all lived here?
We've been in this house, October was 10 years.
Okay. That's nice.
Well, thank you, appreciate that. We lived over in town there for 20-something years, and we built this house here.
And you work at Alliance Auto Auction, right?
Excuse me. Yeah, I retired from Encore Electric,
Okay.
and then spent some time doing all the little business and stuff. It didn't pay out too good. And then let's see, April the 1st, I'll be out there for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Danny, you were gonna, I may have missed it because I've come in late, but you were gonna ask about the car.
Yeah, we talked about it. Once he releases the car, he'll give us a call so I can get it picked up.
Is everything, because we want to get all his things out.
Right.
You know, you're weird because you're like, oh, I gotta get his wheels. I gotta get his shoes. And
I don't have time for that.
one of his friends texted me and said, Dusty told me if he ever went first, he wanted to be buried in blue and gray.
Or what?
Be buried in blue and gray.
That's what you do.
Huh?
Is that what you want to do?
Just telling you what this guy told me. He looked pretty blue.
Where was he living at? Was he?
He didn't have a permanent address.
He didn't want to live with his parents, so we tried really hard for him to stay here because he'd sleep in his car and then get in trouble
But was Cassie staying at that house?
a lot. She has a mother that lives out there, but she'd go stay over there a lot, so she'd be with her daughter.
So her daughter is.
Jenny, the Jenny Brandon's mother
Did you get my mail?
has
I did,
guardianship.
I just want to make sure I did it right.
Right, over Cassie's daughter? I'm trying to her name is,
That's not mine.
Hi.
no ma'am, the Aubrey.
Mine was the short.
So Aubrey's Cassie's daughter?
She was the little girl that came in.
That's her biological
This is all
daughter?
I got was this.
Okay.
What? What'd you say?
All I had was
Well,
yours.
I laid it there. I'll get it. Sorry.
Excuse me.
I still need to speak with Cassie because I haven't had a chance to speak with her yet.
She's texting me now.
Okay.
I don't know what's gonna happen because Jenny is kind of powerful with the daughter. You can see her, you can't see her. She can go with you, she can't. And she just doesn't want anything coming between them. But she started noticing that, but what was agreed upon, Dusty coming out there, was switched to, he wasn't allowed to come out there. And she said there's change in the story. And she says, I told him, y'all said he could come. I asked you. But they're saying, no, we didn't. And said, they're changing the story. And she said, but there's cameras. The cameras would have them saying it. I said, you need to tell him. So she went to talk to you, so I don't know.
Does the
if she-
cameras have audio?
Well, he's saying they weren't on or something, right? It's just a wash.
That's my understanding that only one person had access to them, and the cameras weren't charged or plugged in or.
Well, the only one that had access to him was Brandon, so it's on his phone.
Right, and I have his phone.
And I don't know, you might want to ask Cassie about that. She may have a different opinion. It might have been something to just say.
Is she working right now?
She does work. She works for Walmart in Temple at the phone center.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is she working right now?
I don't know. You want to talk to her?
Okay, this is your copy, sir.
Just ask her when she can meet with me.
Did you get her copy? Or did you get the original? Where's mom's? Where's mom's?
That's her original right there,
I
isn't it?
know, but we made a copy of what she wrote.
Didn't I bring back a stack of papers and I went back and forth?
Should be in that set.
No, that's mine for the
Oh, no,
Chief
I got
Dorsey. I thought you put it on the paper.
You did.
That's a copy for me.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Looking for hers.
Looking for her, he doesn't have hers.
Right, I don't have.
Y'all could open that.
Look in the printer. Right now.
That's all right.
I'm the wrong person to send for some copies right now.
She don't want to live anymore. She just wants to lay down with it. See, we're arguing. I feel so lost without it.
Just call her. And see if she can talk to him.
Well, I'd like to meet with her in person, but it can
That's what I
be
mean, it's-
later. It can be later tomorrow whenever she can. I just didn't have time to meet with her last night.
Danielle's in text.
How she could be working.
Do you have her phone number?
Yes, ma'am. I do. I got it from her yesterday.
I put the wrong name. It's not Dawsey, it's Dawsey, isn't it?
It's Dorsey.
D-O-R.
Dorsey.
It's spelled right. But it didn't that time. She hadn't read it yet. But she could get work. I don't even know how she would be able. She's falling apart. I feel really bad for her, but she's kind of the most hated person right now. They're hating on her and mad at her because she's trying to stick to what happened and supporting us as far as, reading with us.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't there when all of it happened. She was at work. She didn't know what happened. I think we actually told her. But she is stuck in that situation. And then people here are just mad at her because her and Dusty arguing. But they already started the relationship. They was arguing out that evening. Never going to speak to each other again. They walk in the front door together. And every time she's hating on him, he's hating on her, she's telling me she's mad at him, but she loves him. I mean, just kind of crazy little relationship to have, but I don't hate her. I just think it was a messed up lifestyle, and that just goes with it.
think some people's point of view on that is, it's normal to have, arguments with people or disagreements. But if she was talking badly about Dusty or venting to people or this guy or whatever, and as you know, when you vent to someone and you give them a skewed version of a story, you don't have any control about what that person does.
Right.
So if she was venting and giving a skewed story, then she is to part. You know what I mean? This guy may have taken it to a different level, kind of like in this situation too. You don't have control over how someone perceives their actions, but you also are
But they've
responsible
been
for that.
having issues a long time with this guy.
I'm just saying, if she's just sitting around venting and then stirring up some shit, she has no control over what his actions are going to be.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah,
This guy
he's
has already
trying-
attacked his own family. He's had the cops on him, and he beat his mom up, I think. So he's like a toxic person.
Right, and that would be the last
You
person.
know,
Toxic
Dusty's-
people are actually the worst people to vent to.
Well, maybe,
You know what I mean?
but I'm not looking to blame. I mean, the guy, Dusty's smart off of that kid.
I'm just saying, be careful with her.
I think
I think
there's the original here and then a copy here.
But you kinda messed up all this copies.
Amy, would you like some copies?
Supposed to have duplicates.
Let me see that one over there, see if some originals are in there. We got top page of original.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think that we
I
need
don't know
somebody.
what we're missing here.
And she's a good person.
Well, you just
I'm not blaming her. I'm
your
just saying,
statement
I
was
think
just on one page.
I don't think she's
Thank-
innocent. but
Yeah, I know
think
mine
she's-
was.
Right.
Darlene, was yours just on one page, right, maybe?
Mine's one page.
Okay. Does it matter if it's original or a copy?
I'm going to take the original, which I have,
Okay.
but I had the original attached to a copy.
Oh, I see. So you got what you need there.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Do you mind signing down at the bottom, please? Just on that top line down at the bottom, down in the middle. Thank you, ma'am. And is there a way I can get a copy of your spiral page?
This one?
Yes, ma'am.
You wanna try this? I'm not good with printers.
Where is it?
There.
It's right
There's
there
two.
by
Don't
the
be confused.
window.
White one, yeah. On the side of the room.
Found the one there, yeah.
And here's a staple that needs to be thrown away.
Here, the bigger.
Yes, sir.
Do y'all have any questions for me or anything else I can do for y'all?
I'd
Before-
like to ask you, in our moment of loss, not a loss for words, is there anything that people normally ask you that we're forgetting maybe?
Not that I can think of. I mean, so what's going to happen I'll just tell you what's going to happen on our end is, we'll finish our investigation and then everything will be forwarded to the district attorney. And like I was saying earlier, if he stays in jail, which I'm sure he will, then he'll get indicted within 90 days.
Is that Bell County or
McLennan.
Oh, yeah, Diana.
And so if he stays in jail, then he'll just stay there until it goes to court or whatever. Whether, there could be different outcomes. He could take a plea deal. It could go to trial. It just depends.
Do you know if he's been arrested before?
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm just thinking,
I'll find out. I don't know for
Well-
sure, but I'll find out.
well, so I don't need to know. I was curious, but he's gonna have a lot of time to reflect on what he did.
I think that's something, sorry.
Well, not even sitting, I would think sitting in jail or prison, you might have a lot of time to rethink what you did.
Not if you make a
That's my
comment like
opinion.
that standing over his body, I don't think he's the kind of person that feels remorse. If
somebody, I don't know anything about that kind of stuff, but if he put a plea out, why would he plead? He's already admitted that he did it. I mean, well, I mean, a plea avoids a trial.
Right.
Would it be the sentencing by going ahead and pleading guilty would get a different sentence? I don't know. I'm just curious what they even plead.
I mean, just so taking, like, if he was to take a plea deal or something like that outside of court, that would just take care of it without it going to trial. And,
Like for a lesser sentence or something, you mean?
well, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure, even if there was a plea deal offered to him outside of court, you know, it would probably still be a life sentence or, you know, something close to that.
How would he not get a life sentence? It was murder.
Right. But I don't want to speculate on that. I just, you know, these are all things that I have no idea, you know, what it would be.
Just like that 2-hour conversation I was telling you and Dusty had on my birthday up there. He told me all about prison life, and that's not a place you want to be. It's hard. You got to be tough.
Right.
I'm not wishing nothing bad on nobody, but he's gonna have a lot of time to reflect. You know, he's gonna have to survive. It's hard to survive in prison.
Right.
Dusty told me the whole prison life, and I thought, oh my God, how do you do this? You know.
Yeah.
I told you, if I repeat myself, you know, always stop me, but, you know, Dusty, yes, he had a checkered past, it was all about drugs and stuff, but he did have a good, soft heart. He loved his family. Now, he wasn't one out, I don't know, I've never heard of him out starting fights. He just happened to be around where there was fights going on. And Dusty was a tough kid, very tough kid. You know, back when he was 12, 13 years old, if I'd just known his natural talent, he could have been a UFC champion. I'm serious. But, you know, I was working full time and I didn't know too much about the UFC at that time. But he reminds me, I don't know if you ever follow that stuff, I don't anymore, but he reminds me of Nate Diaz, left-handed, just scrappy, hard to get out. Dusty's not a big guy, but he was not scared of nobody.
He's fast.
He was not scared of nobody. I was telling somebody yesterday, you know, and he was a kid, he was always getting in trouble at school for fighting and getting kicked off the school bus and stuff like that. And the story that I remember vividly, he was 12 years old, and him and Justin, his bus buddy at the time, you know, they go to the skating rink at night. Well, they're always in a scuffle up there for whatever reason. So they got barred for 30 days.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man. Sorry. Anyway, I was telling Chief Dorsey a little bit about Dusty. So you done heard this story, but I was just talking about Dusty and how, you know, had the good heart, not out starting fights, but he just happened to be around fights and involved all the time. He got barred. He got
You make sure he'd win.
He got barred for 30 days from the skating rink, you know, for fighting. Okay, the 30 days has passed, so they can go back. And 12 years old, him and Justin, I'm sitting in my lazy boy recliner at the other house, and so I gave him about a 20-minute pep talk. I said, don't you dare get me this phone call from the skating rink, that y'all up there in trouble. Of course, they promised me the world, you know, and everything. So I dropped him off after giving him that pep talk. I go back home and I sit in my chair watching TV. About 10 minutes later, I get a phone call to come get Dusty and Justin. So you can just imagine how irate I was, okay, after giving him this pep talk. Anyway, I go up there. Well, the Waco police was there, and they had several kids lined up against the wall. Police come up to the door, and he said, "You Mr. Noble?" I said, "Yes, sir." And I said, "Yeah, you need to get your son. He was involved in an altercation, stuff like that." I said, "Well, officer," don't remember his name. I said, "I got one question for you. Who started this fight?" He said, "Mr. Noble, I'm tell you the truth. Dusty didn't start this fight. He was trying to break a fight up." He said two people were fighting. Dusty tried to pull this one kid off, the other kid. Well, the kid that he pulled off turned around and hit Dusty in the stomach. And the fight was on. And he said, "I got a question for you, Mr. Nobles." He said, "Who taught this kid how to fight?" I said, "Well, it wasn't me." I said, "He's got natural talent." He said, "I never seen nothing like it." He said, "He wore that kid out before I could even get to him." He said, "He's got the fastest left hand I've ever seen in my life." And I always remember that.
He's just a little kid.
He was doing his own. But he just had that natural talent. You know, a lot of people play football and baseball and stuff like that, but, you know, like I said, he wasn't out starting fights, but he seemed to kind of like it when he did fight. You know, he was good at it. You know, but
Or he'd go back, if he lost, he'd go back, and we gotta do this
yeah,
again.
he might get beat up.
And he'd shake hands with them, we gotta do this again.
Yeah, I said, "We gotta do this again." The next day, they'd fight again, and Dusty come out on top. You know, Benny, tell.
He did that by the house.
Huh?
He did that by the house. He fought a guy that was probably 3 times his size, and he beat Dusty up pretty good. And Dusty was so upset. He called him a few days later and said, "We're gonna do this again." And the guy said, "No." He said, "Well, I'm coming over. We're doing it." And he did. He got him that time. He was so little. And I remember when he got in that car wreck, he broke his hip. He was on Valley Mills Drive at a gas station on crutches. And some people pulled in, and I guess Dusty had been messing with this guy's girlfriend. I don't remember. This big old country boy, he kept picking on Dusty. And Dusty said, I'm on crutches, I can't fight you. He kept pushing. Dusty dropped his crutches and wore him out on one foot.
I remember he got followed on Valley Mills, and they kept following him, and they kept following him, and cars, they were calling each other, and they were following him. So he gotta get it over with, so he pulled over in the parking lot, and it was about, I'm telling you, like a crowd of people around him. He fought them all. And that,
I like the jail story. I think it was you visiting Dusty.
Yeah.
Or was it both of y'all or just you?
Tell
Oh, that's
Chief
one of the best
Dorsey that
stories
story.
ever.
He was going to visit him on Highway 6, and now they have that other building that you sit on and talk to him on the screen. I didn't know that at the time. I thought I was going to see him.
This is one of the best stories.
So I went over there, and I hadn't seen him in a while. And I'm just looking at this empty screen forever, and it's really weird because I've never done that before. And all of a sudden, there he is. He pops onto the screen.
I don't want to
He's
take on
he's
the-
always real chipper, you know, even when he's in jail.
Upset.
Always in a good mood. And we were chatting and stuff, and I had talked to my dad. And, I was talking to my dad when I was driving out there, telling him I was fixing to be there, and I was going to see him and talk to him. And anyway, I don't even remember what we were chatting about, but it was not even a minute into the conversation. As he was talking to me, he kept leaning down, and I kept seeing his forehead, and he kept turning his head. And it was distracting. And I was like, what are you doing? And he goes, "Oh, nothing. How's it been? How's this?" And he kept bending over. And then all of a sudden, he flies out. I just see his face. And the chair flies out from the table, and he backs up like 10 feet. Now I can see his whole body. And this other guy comes into the screen, and they just go at it. Bad. And Dusty quickly got him to the ground, and he was laying against the wall, kind of like in the corner of the floor and the wall, and Dusty was just pounding on this guy. And I was just like, what is happening? And he finally stopped, and then he helped the dude up, and he shook his hand, and he comes right back over to the screen and sits down, and I said, what just happened? And he said, "Oh, I had beef with this guy before, and he was in here. He's talking on the phone too, and I knew something was fixing to go down." Well, when he was bending over, what he was doing was he was pulling his pants up and pulling the sleeves back because he knew what was fixing to happen. And then I guess the guy wanted more, and he got up off where he was and he came back again, and then it happened a second time. And he let him out again. And I'm just watching this, and then as I'm watching this, I feel someone next to me, and I turn my head, and it's a woman, and she's looking, and I was like, "Who are you?" She said, "That's my husband, the other guy." So we're watching this together. He's my brother, and that's her husband, and I was completely, I didn't know what to think or say, and then all of a sudden, you know, the guards rushed in and drove him off, and I was just sitting there looking at an empty screen, and he yelled at me as they were dragging him off. He said, "Love you, Daddy. I'll see you later." And then I left, and then I called my dad. He said, "How'd it go?" I said, "Well, it didn't go good." I told him what happened, and he said, "Oh man, it's a typical
Dusty
Dusty story."
We used to live on 28th in Columbus. Well, Kim's Restaurant is on 26th and Waco Drive. We used to go down there all the time. We lived over there. I'd go down there and put credit on the cash register down there so Dusty could go down and eat lunch. We were working, you know. Anyway, so Dusty goes down and he eats lunch. Well, then he's walking back to the house. Well, if I told you the name of the boys, you'd recognize their name because I think both of them are back in prison now. But anyway, there were 3 of them, and they had had words before. And all 3 of them jumped out and whipped the fire out of Dusty. Okay, years later, Dusty winds up in
Fairfield. No.
Hutchins jail,
Yeah.
prison, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, he runs across one of the boys, and Dusty got even. He beat the boy up pretty bad, and he told me about it on the phone. You know, later. Well, I guess that weekend or something, I went to go visit Dusty at Hutchins. And so we went out in the big auditorium, you know, and all the people are sitting around waiting for the inmates to come out, you know, do visitation. Well, when I walked in, I seen this boy and his parents sitting over there, and that guy had a black eye, cheek was all swollen and everything, and I know the parents. I thought, oh my God. How's this gonna go down?
They're pretty wild.
Well, yeah, they're wild. Like I say, they're back in prison. But anyway, they're sitting over here. Well, I go over here. Well, then Dusty comes in, and he looks at me, and then he looks over there, and he goes over to this table over here. I said, well, the fight's fixing to be on again. Dusty walks over, stuck his hand out, shook his hand, come back over and sit down with me.
He's just different. When he's a little kid, he gets kicked off the school bus. So, why were you fighting? They called you fat. You know, I mean, he's just real loyal to his family.
Look what just came up for some reason randomly. I wasn't even my pictures. I was texting.
What's that?
There's Dusty and Cassie right there. Our wedding.
And Justin used to get pillows on their fists, and they would wrap it in duct tape, and they would go on a trampoline and box.
He was about 145 pounds, but it didn't matter how big the guy was. He's ready to go.
Even when he's little, he taught him to be so loyal because he'd come in crying, Danny, Danny, Danny. I'm like, Danny did what? Nothing. And he turned I knew he did something, but I didn't know what he did. He wouldn't tell.
There's 8 or 9 years difference between him and his little brother. They roughed him up pretty bad when he was little.
Yeah, y'all did.
Y'all made him tough. He was a tough little kid.
He was a unique individual.
Well, before I leave y'all, you know, I can't imagine, you know, what y'all are going through. You know, I've never lost a child. I have a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old. So, you know, I can't imagine, but I definitely sympathize with y'all.
Appreciate that.
Did you say you lost a 2?
No.
He's got.
I have a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old son, boys.
Well, obviously, we
So-
never thought we'd.
Yeah, this isn't something that you would ever think would happen. But
No, And I appreciate y'all's professionalism and I appreciate y'all's efforts.
Everybody, every department, everybody done that
One of the-
scene was so sweet.
One of the deputy sheriffs, Deputy Ewing, he comes to the auction on Friday and does security. And
Right, yeah.
I was glad to see a familiar face
Right.
when I got there. He was very, very good.
And there's
Everybody was.
Deputy Glover,
Mm-hmm.
and he lost his daughter, and he was straight faced. And
He was
lost
a
her
murder
4 years
suicide
ago. Yeah,
years ago.
she's
Or
only
4 years ago.
19.
Yeah, I'm good friends with Brent.
Are you?
Yeah.
Brent Ewing? Really? He's a fan. I love that guy. He comes out to the auction, just, there's a lot of cash changes hands out there. And he handles security and stuff. But I was so, it was so tragic, but I just enjoyed seeing a familiar face. I'm coming out there, I didn't know nobody at all,
Right. Yeah, I've known Brent for a long time.
He's a great guy. I think he's got a different position now. I don't know if he's gonna be coming to auction like he did, but I don't know if it's a promotion. I think it was maybe a lateral move, but he's gonna be doing something different.
Right.
I know Leah. I love Dusty.
Yeah, I guess that there was a concern that my sister and I are very active in local politics here. You imagine we're really good friends with a lot of people, and we just wouldn't want any of that to interfere with anything. We know it won't, but we're thinking about their side of it.
I don't see how, still because we're a witness, but
So I'm just thinking that,
the only witness, I guess.
like, when you said that earlier about keeping this amongst us, I told them last night I wouldn't be saying things that, we're not short on friends of judges and DAs and,
Right.
it's just
She knew that.
sheriffs and stuff. We're
Exactly.
just, it's just, we wouldn't want their family to think, which that's not gonna happen, you're a professional organization, we know there's nothing like this
Yeah,
ever,
right.
but people,
We don't
a defense attorney may come in and say,
Yeah, but I don't think, if they're professional enough, they shouldn't let it get.
They won't, I'm thinking about the people, the other family, they're looking for ways to make this look like it's Dusty's fault, and they'd love to think we were prejudiced or something, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Them, that's who I'm worried about, not the,
Is that a
not the
concern?
department, sheriff, lawyers, none of that. I'm not worried about that, I'm just worried about the other family, but they might try to use against us. This family.
Right. Well, they can try to say whatever they want to, but the truth is going to come out. And
Yeah.
so.
Well, like I said, I appreciate your professionalism and what you were saying a while ago. You got 2 kids and you don't know how this feels, I guess, but it's something I never thought I would have to deal with. And having said that, I want to tell Annie and Danielle, my son and daughter, the natural flow of things, mom and dad eat first. I'm praying that y'all don't ever leave before us. Please.
Well, is it more likely gonna go to a court case because he has no option, either just plead guilty or go to court? So if it plays out, is it a 1-day trial, is it a week trial, what kind of things
I have no.
are they
I normally trials of this magnitude or cases of this magnitude, even though it's pretty cut and dry what happened, and but it could. Most trials don't last just a day. It's usually several days or a week or.
Yeah.
So.
I spent 7 days on the trial. I got called for jury duty. It's the longest 7 days of my life. I hated it.
Yeah.
Will you be seeing Brent
Yes, sir.
sometime soon?
More than likely.
I see him on Fridays, which typically I won't be there Friday, I'm sure. But anyway, when you do tell him how much I appreciate him and love him. He was there for me. And support him. Just tell him I appreciate him.
And everybody.
Yeah, everybody. Please tell him that for me.
Yes, sir.
And you're with Bosky,
Bruce Filletti.
He's the chief. Chief Dorsey.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming out and give us an opportunity to not only just fill out a statement, but just talk to you and share with you. Appreciate that.
Do you work with Bonnie
Yeah.
Borden? Dispatcher?
I don't.
I think she's got a meeting, I think she might read about it, know if they'll
Okay.
work together, dispatch around.
Well, you know, you can come out, put the paper down, fill out a statement, hit the door, but you spent time with us and got to hear some stories about our son, and you didn't have to do that. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And I'm a Christian man, and I believe in God, and I have faith in Him, and I feel like everything that I've accomplished and where I am today is because of Him. And I give Him all the glory and praise for what's happened in my own life. But I know what you're going through is a tragedy, and I can't imagine. But this life that we're in and this place that we live in, this is just our temporary home.
That's what she's trying to read on.
Right. So, this is just a temporary place that we're here on earth, and we're living our lives here, but, we still have the gift of eternal life.
Absolutely.
And, we'll hopefully all be together again someday, and you'll get to see Dusty again, and you'll be able to spend eternity with him. So, but I know it's hard. He's not here right now in this life, but you will get to see him again and spend eternity with him.
I'm glad you brought that up,
So-
because when I got there and discovered that he had passed away, I mean, I just collapsed on him.
Right.
But I asked the Lord to accept my son in His kingdom. And we've had a few signs in the last 24 hours that we have comfort that he's in heaven with the Lord. He accepted the Lord as Savior back when he was a little kid. Now, life happened, and he had a checkered past, but we have peace that he's with the Lord.
That's good. That's great. That's
I think maybe, I don't know, maybe some people might know, maybe the time is near, and they reach out, and like I say, he and I had that special time together. He had called Danny, the week before, just kind of out of the blue, and they shared. Maybe he kind of knew that he was not consciously, maybe, but maybe subconsciously knew that something was going to happen. I don't know. And that brings up another question. Y'all said that y'all had brought him back twice and then lost him. With the life that he was living and the challenges that he was facing, I just wonder if he chose to go and not stay.
Danielle was
sense.
asked, Danielle had a near death, and she was asked to stay or go, and she asked to stay. And with him coming back, we're just wondering, because he looked like his expression was just like he exhaled.
And we don't know that, but we just speculate that
Yeah,
maybe he chose to.
it's just too hard on this planet for some people. You just couldn't get a break. And it wasn't for trying.
I don't think he made. I mean, I can't. I just saying what I feel. I don't feel like he chose to go.
Well, I
Like
just wonder.
like him himself. I don't think they he had the option one way or the other. I think they were really trying to save him,
Oh
and they got him back a little bit, and then they lost him.
Well, I'm not discounting the effort. I
So-
just wondered, like in her situation, she had an verbal, audible question: "Do you want to stay or go?" And she chose to stay. I just wonder if God
Like a
gave
spiritual
Dusty that
message.
choice.
Oh, okay.
That's what
I get you.
I wasn't discounting the efforts that y'all did.
No, and I'm not saying that. I'm just
Yeah, and the life life is much more bigger than this life we're living here.
Dusty will never come back, and we miss him forever. But we're gonna pray that his death will not be in vain. It's gonna be good company.
Yes, sir. And you always have hope too that, you know, even though this was a tragic incident that should have never happened, you know, this, you know, if you think of it from a positive light, you know, this could have kept him from something worse happening.
Yeah.
But I don't mean that in any bad way. I just, you know, this was a tragic. He was killed tragically. It should have never happened. You know, it was with evil, you know, with not good intentions.
When you
But-
get shot like that, is there the pain there? I mean, I know he got shot, and I heard him cry out, but I think he cried out knowing he's leaving the planet. Just can't.
Yeah, I hope, you know, I hope he didn't feel pain, but you know, I don't know for sure.
Couldn't have been long because he was quiet. He wasn't.
Yeah. But as bad as I was just saying, as bad as this situation was, and as tragic, and as, you know, all of that, you know, hope, you know, if you're thinking of it from a positive light, then, you know, this could have kept him from something worse, you know, happening later on. So, even though I don't see how much worse you could get, but
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, like we told the deputy yesterday, we're pro police. You know, I know a lot of times you guys get a bad rap and people talk smack and people hate on the cops and stuff. We don't. We love what you do. Believe that.
and even the people that hate us and probably want to kill us, I mean, even when they need help, who are they going to call?
Well, y'all fixing to become heroes again this year from henceforth, at least the next 4.
Well, without going into great detail, you know, this family has had trouble with substance abuse and stuff, and you know, in my household, Columbus, we had a lot of interaction with the police and ambulances and fire trucks and stuff like that. But I have to say, everybody that come to tend to business, they handled it professionally. I'm pro cop. I really am.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate that. But, and you know, we talked about it earlier, you know, no matter what's happened, you know, your past is your past. You know, my wife likes to bring up things that have happened in the past, but, you know, your past is your past, and I just don't feel like, you know, whatever may have occurred in the past, whatever choices he made in the past, you know, no one deserves to die. You know, no one deserves to lose their life over something. You know, there's only, you know, Jesus died on the cross for us so we could have eternal life, but, you know, no one else deserves to have to lose their life over something.
Dusty paid his debt to society.
Dusty, what?
He did. He paid his debt to society.
Yeah.
So, you know, he got to start over.
Right.
I kept preaching to Dusty. He drove that Cadillac and had the different wheels on it and stuff. And of course, you know, the car's registered in his name. So I know you guys run license plates and stuff like that. And I said, Dusty, you have to learn how not to attract the police. I told him, I said, I can drive across the United States of America and never get stopped.
You know, he said,
I said, you gotta be legal, registration sticker, license plates, you gotta have your seatbelt on, you gotta have, don't be slumming down, playing rap music and all kind of stuff, and bullet holes in the back of your car. You know, say you pull up behind them, well, you say you may not profile, but I'm thinking probably you do, I don't know. But I kept trying to tell him, don't attract police, but he could.
he said, no, I'm cool with the cops because I just put my hands up and then they know by the time they get up to the window in the prison. So I just put my hands up And that's usually goes pretty good from there, because they know
Well, that's
one
all
way to
on his
live.
place, his history shows up. I can't see
Yeah, we don't profile people. Number one, it's illegal. Number two, we don't even know who the person is until we walk up there and see who it is. You know, it's hard to, really get a good look at someone while they're driving. So
Well, there's people that look spot clean and end up being horrible, so how do you know?
but just like anybody else, if there's a car that has big flashy rims on it and they're bumping their music, then yeah, it's going to draw attention to them.
Yeah, that's what I say. Don't attract people like that. That's what I'm saying.
But I
They all
love
work-
Cadillac.
Do y'all work the interstate much? See? All right, there again, my hat's off to y'all, 'cause I don't have what it takes to pull somebody over at 2 o'clock in the morning on the interstate and walk up to the car, not knowing what you're fixing to confront. My hat's off to y'all for that. You got something that I don't have. Danny, he's a captain at the Round Rock Fire Department, and he works closely with the police. They run a lot of accident calls on the interstate, and he sees a lot of stuff real bad, so. But like he said yesterday, he's seen a lot of stuff, but not his own family member. Which I can understand that.
Seeing the other side.
Right.
He told me several years ago we were having a conversation, and it touched my heart. It tugged at my heart, and I was thinking. He said, "Dad," and well, just not. He was real sincere. We're talking about the fire department and everything he said, everything he does. He said, "Dad, I'm tired of seeing dead people," and that just. He said that. I can't relate. I can only imagine. Yeah, I know you see it too.
I know it's not fun for y'all to be there yesterday. And I know you gotta go do your job, So I appreciate it too.
Yes, sir.
Jesse called me the other night. Said, Mitch, when you look outside, I just want you to not be worried. I'm parked on the side of your house. My headlight went out, and I'm afraid if I try to drive the car home, I'll get stopped. Cassie was with him, and I said, "You didn't have his driver's license." And I said, "Well, does Cassie have a driver's license?" "Yeah, have y'all been drinking?" "No." "Well, let her drive." I said, because they probably will stop you if they see it. We're like to let you know, it's out. You just don't be afraid. Just went out and they're trying to get home. And I never heard from him after that. What he wanted me to know, there wasn't a strange report, there was someone else.
And are they going to call y'all whenever he gets back?
They said they would.
Okay.
I'm not sure who, but
So Cassie
Corner
responded
lady.
finally.
Okay, ma'am.
She said, I can see him today. I have to go in the wake of the day. Then I'll be back at my mom's in Eddie. I can't go home. RN?
Right now.
Generation, I guess.
Well, it took me a while to learn because I didn't grow. I mean, even in my generation, we weren't using all those abbreviations and stuff like that. But
I have to ask the kids at my school or Dutch.
yeah, I had to figure everything out.
I
So-
Google it.
Uh,
That's silly.
Like, there's like,
You can answer.
IKN, or IKR, I know, right? Or really RLY, like, I don't know.
Do you have Cassie's phone number you can reach out to?
I do.
Okay.
You might reach
Might
the
set
rest
up
by
a-
text, it sounds like that.
Might set up a meeting, I guess, for her.
Yeah.
Russian call.
Yeah, I'll reach out to her.
If you don't get their own call, you might want to text. I don't know why sometimes it's hard to reach your own calling, but
Yeah.
I always have better.
Okay, that's fine.
She's at the moment right now.
Yes, she does,
I
but,
can't remember. Oh,
I mean, I think of her living on
he
her
remembers
phone,
him.
but, yeah, she talks on the phone too, it's not
He
that
probably
she
doesn't
don't.
talk to you for a minute,
It's
but
just,
it'll
so
be
I think my
like
experience is like that. All young people just rather text and call anyway.
Hey, are y'all wanting to, I don't need to play that. I'll just watch that. Are you wanting to have him cremated?
Yeah, we probably will.
Probably so.
We'll do something creative with this. Put him in his shoes. Pass him out to all his friends.
Well, if it's-
He loves shoes.
I don't know if
He
they
has
care
more
about
shoes than anybody in the
I don't
world.
care which one.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got all those clothes and shoes. I want family to go through everything they want.
I want it to
get
like
stuff.
save some, not for anyone to wear or like maybe put on like a shelf in the house. You know, I got that with all my stuff, my feathers and my crystals, and you know, just like a pair of shoes to.
And his shoes, like baby shoes.
What's crazy is I have a picture of Dusty from prison. He looks so handsome in this picture, and he actually has the beard in the picture, which, you know, my friend had said she saw him with the beard getting to heaven. But he's in his white, it's a prison photo based on, but he looks so handsome. It's a great photo, and he's real big, he's got a lot of muscle on him. And it's been sitting on my table in my living room since I've lived in this house. And so last night I was looking at it.
There's a pair of sandals. He laid those shorts there, and there's a pair of sandals. And he comes in the house and he starts cleaning my house. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I mean, he cleans like I've never hired anyone to clean. I walk through and he's on the floor on all fours scrubbing something up. I didn't know someone was there. Cleans my carpet, cleans everything, every detail. And he knows we're gonna, okay, thank you, you know, pay him. But his sandals are in there, if you want them. I don't know, one of your slides. We'll get all those out there.
Well, if it's okay with y'all, I'm going to excuse myself, but I'll definitely be praying for y'all. And if there's anything I can do for y'all, just give me a call. And I'll be happy to do whatever I can to help y'all.
Didn't you say that Devin knew some people that Brandon was throwing threats out?
Oh yeah, my son is on his way back to Waco right now, but he's been over there a few times, and he has some statements he probably needs to add, stuff he saw, stuff he witnessed with that kid while they were there. So I think he would probably be an important person to talk to. He just has been in Austin. He's coming back today.
And who is it?
This is my son. My
Oh,
oldest.
okay. Well, I can leave a statement for him.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, I'll give this to him.
Would it bother you if we say it there?
Sure, absolutely.
Dear Father, I just want to say we love you, and we want to say we don't understand, and we have to ask why, but you're God and we're not. Dusty had a number of heartbeats on this world, and now he's with you in heaven, and he's experiencing all your glory. No more pain, no more suffering. Just welcome him for us, Lord. And we have assurance that we will see him again. Father, I want to thank you for Chief Dorsey and the Bruce Lady Police Department. Thank you, Lord, for the Buchanan County Sheriff's Department. Thank you, Lord, for the paramedics. Father, I want to thank you for the effort, the extended effort they extended to my son to save his life. I want to thank you for those departments and the professionalism, Lord, that they gave to us. I want to thank you, Lord, right now for Chief Dorsey, the time he spent with us. It could have been a statement and go, but he spent some time with us, talking, laughing, sharing stories. And Lord, I recognize that he didn't have to do that. He did it because he's a Christian. He did it because he did it from his heart. And thank you. cheap, Darcy. Jesus, thank you, Craig.
Amen.
I guess you got your statements and everything you need.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you,
All right.
Darcy.
God bless
I really
y'all.
do. I'm glad to meet you. I'm sorry
Yes,
for
sir.
the circumstances, but, you are, you're top shelf.
I try to be.
I mean that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
God bless y'all.
Thank you very
Y'all
much.
take care of
Appreciate you
yourself.
very much.
Ma'am.
Cross your hand. May God bless you and prosper you and take you to higher places you belong and deserve to be.
Thank
I
you.
just pray the blood of Jesus over you and your family for all their lives.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
God bless y'all.
Be careful out there.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all again.
Bye-bye.
Bye.